2.5. And 1.5. And should be good. And
hey guys, we should be starting right now. It's let me just see. I want to make sure that my video is up there. Mark, can you? There we go. It's up there now. I can see that now. Just a bit of a delay, but it's all good, guys. We are just a couple of minutes from the top of the hour, and we're going to be getting this live stream underway. So thanks for tuning in here. Good to have you with us. Steve, can we just do a sound check?
Yep. Hey, everybody. How are you? Hopefully you can see me. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? I don't even know who to ask. What do you think? Or is it just a delay that's going to pop up?
It's a delay. It's a delay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. All right, we're just about 2 minutes away. Steve, do we want to do that thing with the chat box now, or?
Well, I suggest we do that as the first thing. That'll give people time to join, and
good deal.
We'll get the critical mass right there as we begin. We'll do it then.
Cool.
It feels very strange to go from one sort of video conferencing system to another. I'm looking for like GoToWebinar controls or ReadyTalk controls, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bit disconcerting.
It is. And you can't see that immediate feedback, I
guess.
Crazy.
Yeah. So just a couple more minutes here, guys. I'm just checking a few things on the back end to make sure it's all working. And so far, so good. And we'll be diving into this. And we do have the live question support. So anytime you have a question, you'll be able to use that. And almost there. Okay. 1 more minute, I think, and it's at the top of the hour.
What's the temperature there? I see in your short sleeves just flaunting the fact that you have warm weather.
It's pretty warm here. I think it was, I want to say it was high 20s Celsius today. So that must be...
mid-70s or something?
No. More like 90.
Oh, geez. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Maybe like mid-80s to 90.
Oh, all right.
Someone else can correct me. I think it was like 28 degrees here today. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that does sound high.
Yeah. All right, guys. Again, we're just making sure that everything is working behind the scenes. And I think we are ready to get the show on the road. Steve, already at your end?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
I think
we're ready. Yeah, we are ready. So welcome, everyone, to this live stream. Good to have you with us. And we are going to be doing things a little bit differently today. This is an open workshop where you can get your questions answered by us live. We do have the live question support, which you're going to be able to use as we go forward here. Please just use that to ask questions, not just to say yes or put a number. We're not going to ask you to put a number 1 in there or anything like that, because we do have our support team, and we just want to make sure we're answering as many people's questions as we can. Now, we do have some prizes that we're going to be giving away, and the way that we're going to do that is we want you to register with your name and your email right now. So to do that, on the you'll see the live chat button. You can click on that, and it's going to ask you for your name and your email address. And all you need to do is put that in there and just hit send chat request. And what that'll do is that will register your name and your email address with our chat system, and we're going to be choosing prize winners at random. Okay, and I think we've got 5 Apple Watches that we're going to be giving away. So Lots of entertainment, but also lots of value here, I think, as well. Answering your questions. We're going to completely destroy and lift the kimono on an Amazon business, one of our Amazon businesses, and give you a full overview of the parallel profit system as well. So early bird giveaway, we're going to give away a watch in just a second, but I'm just giving people a chance to get themselves registered for that. And we can probably do it. Right now, I think. Steve, do you have a question that you want to start with there?
Well, actually, what we were going to do was we were just going to pick people at random who registered, I think.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
My bad.
So,
okay.
So what I'll do is I'll ask the team behind the scenes if you guys could pick someone at random from the list of people who've just registered and let us know in Skype who it is. Let's see. Let's see. All right, we're waiting. Hold on. Name of Greg. Anything else we could identify Greg as? We have Greg's. Greg, we will email you. Don't have your last name or anything. We may not want to say it. Hold on one second. I'm getting.
It's all a little bit cryptic because I bet there are 10 different Gregs on here right now.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but we have Greg's email address, so
we do have Greg's email address, and we can see where he's tuning in from and all that good stuff. So we'll get that more. We'll get you some more details about who Greg is in a second here.
It's Greg at Greg MOLY, and I'll not repeat the rest of it. So, but that's enough for you to know who you are, Greg.
Cool. So give us your PayPal, your email address, and we'll be in touch with the prize information. So that's the first giveaway. We've got 4 more and lots more content to dive into right now. Now, we did say that we're going to give you an overview about what Parallel Profits is all about. And the first thing I want you to know is that we shut down tomorrow. So, Thursday, tomorrow, shut down. That's it. No one else will be able to come in. The training starts on Friday. So this may be the last chance that you have to get all of this information. So I just urge you to, listen to what we've got to say here. Ask questions if you've got them, because now is your opportunity to do that. So what exactly is Parallel Profits all about? It's about providing simple web solutions to services, web solutions and services to businesses, okay, in a very unique and a very lucrative way, but with a unique twist, which we'll explain shortly, where you get partnership and done-for-you solutions, and without needing to do any of the soul-sucking work yourself. So no search engine optimization, no building websites, no social media, nothing technical at all. In fact, you'll only have one thing that you need to worry about. So just to be perfectly clear with you here, you don't need to create or buy any physical products or invest any money in inventory. There are no barriers to entry or complicated technical hurdles for you to overcome. You simply follow the process and create an incredible revenue stream. And this is a real business that could be sold on for a high multiplier of its monthly profits later. And so what do we mean by services? Well, they are simple services, but they are critical to the businesses that use them. These are services that help them achieve search engine visibility, social media exposure, along with having a better looking and more reliable web presence. So they result in 3 main things for the end customer, and those are more web traffic, more customers, and more revenue. And the typical customer is the local plumber, the landscaper, the hotel, the pool cleaner, the accountant, the dry cleaner, the restaurant, the taxi company. I mean, you get the picture. These are local businesses. And you might be asking yourself, do they really pay for this stuff? And the answer is yes. The demand is off the charts. Customers and revenue, I mean, they are the lifeblood of these businesses. And they need this, and they know they need it, and they know they're not doing it as well as they could be doing it for the most part. And if they don't know that, then you can educate them that is indeed the case. And if you just look at some of the numbers, I mean, they're just mind-boggling. 45% of businesses in the USA don't have a website. Many of the ones that do are just horrible. 60% of small companies in the UK don't have a website. And this same pattern repeats itself over and over again all around the world. Now, how much money can you make with this? Here is our business, our Parallel Profits business, scaled down to if we'd just done 7 sales. So if we just made 7 sales in this business, this is what our numbers would look like. 144,000 revenue. And the important one, the only one that really matters, is at 116% profit. And the reason we've got so much profit there is because we've got such a high margin. Now, to make $116,000 in profit selling physical products, as an example, on Amazon, you'd need to do upwards of $500,000 in sales. Now, I'll give you a very, very clear example of that in just a second. Now, with 15 sales in this business, you'll be looking at $242,000 profit. I mean, that's take-home money for you after you've covered your expenses. And that's just amazing. Now, we love Amazon physical products, but I'm going to kind of destroy that business just for a second here, because I think it's important that you know how another model stacks up compared to the parallel profits model. So you've seen parallel profits, 80%, 70, 80% net profit margin. And Amazon, you're looking more like 17%. Now, what you're seeing here are some different screenshots from a couple of our Amazon accounts. You can see we did around about just under $500,000 in December, and you can see a couple of our other screenshots here from another one of our accounts here. And we've got 3 of these accounts. But, you could be doing $500,000 and your take home from that might be like 80 grand. In that case, 84,000 was a 17% net margin, which again, it's great. We love that business model. It makes us fantastic money all year round, but only because we can sell so many products and we have to do enormous revenue to make that kind of a money. So, the key here is how much money you get to keep. With an Amazon physical product business, you might get to keep 17% of it. With the model that we've been talking about, it's more like 80%. So that makes it easier to make more money and faster. So the profit potential is astronomical. You only need 7 customers to get to earning $100,000 in profit per year versus what did we see here? We saw in December, we did over 10,000 sales, So we're talking about 7 sales versus 10,000 or more sales. And we're going to show you the 3-step process in just a second here, but let's not lose track of the aim, which is to hit $100,000 in profit run rate from just 7 customers and then scale from 100 to 300 to $1 million and beyond. The sky's the limit. So, but before we do any of that, let's talk about the partnership, because we have been talking about this unique partnership that we've set up for Parallel Profits for, the past few days. And it's a genuine partnership. It's a 100% real deal, legitimate, legally binding, genuine partnership. And the beauty of this is it's set up in such a way where we are chasing the same goals, and we are only going to win when you win. And this is something that we've been trying to crack for years. We've been trying to crack the code of how can we partner together to have a truly win-win situation with our members, with our students. And it's something that people have actually asked us for about a decade, and we've never known how we could do it, but we have figured it out now. And it's quite amazing. And it's going to be amazing for the people that are with us. So what we have here is the perfect business model and a partnership. And that stacks the odds of success squarely in your favor. And a $1 million business, $1 million profit, I might add, is well within your grasp, because we're talking about getting to that with 65 sales. I mean, you can't get that from any other business, at least no business that's scalable, that you can start with, no money down when you're building it. That just doesn't exist. So to get to this level, $1 million in profit, that's $2,700 per day and a handful of hours per week. The time invested to start building this, we say a baseline of about 4 hours per week is enough to get things going. And hopefully you'll have a little bit more than that. But if to begin with, you can, get together 4 hours per week, then it's going to be enough to get going at least. So if you were to break down your earnings on an hourly basis, you're earning mega dollars per hour. And the only reason you'd want to do that is if you want to compare how much money you're making to how much money someone would be making if they're, in a day job earning a salary. But this is your business. And it would make it, the highest paying job online that exists, period. And just to be clear, you don't have to meet with anyone or call anyone up, or you can use automated hands-off online campaigns to generate your sales. You don't need any internet marketing knowledge, because true experts are going to be the ones that are delivering these services for you, and you don't need money to start. As long as you've got an internet connection and a computer, you're good to go. And I'll show you, we'll talk about later how the money to start the business is basically zero, because there's no, you don't have to use paid advertising. In fact, we recommend, and I'll talk about this, using free traffic campaigns to begin with. There's no inventory to buy. There's no other, business setup overheads that you necessarily need to use. You can get started for $0, and I mean that, and you'll see it shortly. So before we tell you more, let's discuss 5 simple rules for earning over $250,000, $500,000 per year and beyond from working from home and reaching that $1 million mark. Now, these are 5 rules for success, and they, if you analyze the success of any business, you'll see these popping up over and over again. And not just that, but if you analyze any millionaire, and I know 50 different millionaires, and I earn multi-million dollars myself every single year, you'll see these 5 rules pop up over and over and over again. Now, number 1 is to understand the math of money. There are 4, it says 45, but there are 4 variables that multiply to give you your income. Know what these are, internalize them, and use them to your advantage. So it's your leads multiplied by your conversion rate, multiplied by your dollars per customer, multiplied by the average number of transactions of a customer. So in this business, we're talking about conversion rates of converting 1 in 7 of the leads that you get, dollars per customer of like 1,000, and then and that would be profit, and then multiply that by 12 months or longer. Many of it, we've got one customer that's been with us for 8 years. So that's the first thing. Understand the math of money. The second is focus on growth, and all successful people that I know intuitively think in terms of growth. It's dialed into their subconscious. So that's a big one. Number 3 is be action orientated. The mega successful and almost all the millionaires I know, they want things done yesterday, and I certainly feel this way as well. Immediate, fast action. So be action orientated. Waiting around really doesn't get you ahead in life. What gets you ahead is when you take aggressive action towards something. Protect your time. So your time is your most valuable non-renewable asset. So you need to be, from a business sense, you need to be getting into a business that's not going to be sucking all of your time. It should be a business that frees up your time. And what we're doing with Parallel Profits does that, because the most time-consuming part of all of it is delivering the services, and you don't need to do that. You can hand that off to someone else for a small fee, still take home over 70% in profits, and you've got your time. And then most importantly, get other people to do the work. And I think I just spoke about that just now. This is why millionaires focus on delegation to the point where they're able to get hundreds or thousands of hours done in a single day. So we've talked about the rules. Let's discuss now how you get your first 7 customers and hit that $100,000 per year run rate. Now, just to reiterate, we do have the question box, which you're able to use if you've got a question about the system. And we are manning it just as fast as we can behind the scenes, but we also know that there are a lot of people watching this. So if we don't get your question, just bear with us. We're going to do our best, and hopefully we'll answer your question throughout this training anyway. But I want to talk about the ASD system now, and this is really at the core of what we're doing. And the A stands for activate your lead magnet, and we'll talk about that. The S is secure customers fast, and the D is deliver simple services. So these are the 3 services, the 3 steps, I should say. Generate targeted leads, turn them into customers, and then deliver the simple services. And number 1 is getting those targeted leads. And that's what you're going to be doing through the A of this process. And first, you need traffic. Just like with any kind of business, you need some traffic. And we focus on free traffic strategies to begin with. It's organic, but they're fast and easy. We're not chasing highly competitive search terms or anything like that. We're going after long tail, low volume search terms. These are the ones that are the most lucrative. No one else is targeting them, and we can get traction with them very quickly. And it's not just that you need the traffic, but you need to be able to convert that traffic. And when I say convert the traffic, I'm not talking about making a sale initially. What I'm talking about is getting an email address. And the way that we do that is with lead magnets. Now, a lead magnet is just a piece of content that you give people in return for something that you give them a piece of content in return for their email address. And it solves a problem. And just bear with me for 1 second. It's getting really hot in here, guys. I'm sorry to say. So I've just turned my air conditioning unit on. But the lead magnet, it's designed to solve a problem in the most convenient and quickest way possible, add relevant value. And the goal is not to get as many of these leads as you can. It's to get the most targeted leads that are going to turn into customers. So the lead magnet that we use is proprietary software. And the software, what it does is it generates an audit, almost like a health check for the online presence of a local business. And it tells them all kinds of things. It puts their business under the microscope, and it's all done automatically by our software behind the scenes. And it creates this amazing report for them. And it looks a little bit like this, where you've got all these colorful images and graphics. And what these do, these are highlighting different issues, different areas that a web presence has, that any offline business should have, and tells them how they're performing. And when there are issues, it points them out and makes them very, very clear to the business owner in layman terms in ways that they can understand. And this is enormously valuable because, and this is why it works so well. It's so valuable because people get this, they understand it, they read through it, and then, oh, by the way, they need help in fixing the issues. And that's where we come in. So the sale kind of takes care of itself. Here's a look behind the scenes at what the dashboard of the software looks like. It's amazing. It tracks everything from start to finish. So you can see your leads coming in, where each one of them is at in the sales cycle, what if you need to do anything, what it is, and it tracks it all for you. So it's a really, really cool piece of software. And then once we've got those email addresses, those leads, we need to turn them into customers. And the key to conversions is that you need to contact, and it's the same online, offline, and in anything, but the key to conversions is that people need to see an offer multiple times. And the best way to make sure that they do that is to send follow-up emails to them. So we automate this using some more special software that we've got. And the beauty of automation is that it means it's zero work on your part. You can just set it up initially. And this is something that we've perfected over the past 15 years of actually doing this. You can just set it up initially to sort of run. And then, it's just going to be automated from that point in time. So leads come into the top of the funnel, they go through this email sequence, and eventually you convert sales. Now, these have to be written in a very specific and strategic way. Otherwise, you just won't make any sales from them. And it's not something that most people can do. Effective copywriting is difficult. If you want to outsource it, it's very expensive. And it's time consuming. But the good news is that we've already done it for you. And we've got a solution which is obviously built into Parallel Profits. And we'll talk about that in a second. You can actually see part of the solution here. And this is our software that we use to send out these customer acquisition emails. You can see the type of sequence that we use. And it's all done for you, completely automated. Okay. And then step 3 is to deliver the simple services. Now, the 4 main services that we use: visibility campaigns, web development, hosting, and social media content creation. Okay, and these 4 services, not only are they the most profitable, most services that are the most sort of headache-free, for want of a better word, they're also the services that give the end customer the best bang for their buck. So the end customer is getting the best possible value, and we are coincidentally making the most money and with the most headache-free services that we could possibly offer. And there are other things that you can offer as well, but I would recommend that you just follow our proven steps to begin with and focus on these, and we'll show you exactly how we roll them out. And you won't need to build any software to run this business. You won't need to know anything about these types of services, and you'll discover in a moment how we take care of it all for you. So the 3 steps, just to recap on them, is to generate targeted leads, to turn those leads into customers, and then to deliver the simple services. So hopefully you're following along so far. And to reiterate, the aim here is to get to $100,000 in profit from just 7 customers, and then keep scaling that up to $300,000, $1 million. The sky is the limit here because it does scale really, really nicely. So it's that time again. We're going to give away another Apple Watch. And we have... what we got people to do at the start was to register with their name and email. And if you've just joined us, you could do that again right now. But Steve,
Yes.
Behind the scenes, who do we have there? Who's the winner?
Our lucky winner of this Apple iWatch is David, and his email address is dgarvin8 and I won't give the rest of it, but it's D Garvin 8. So that should be enough for him to know who he is. And we will reach out to him to arrange delivery of the beautiful Apple Watch.
So D Garvin 8, congratulations, buddy. This is a really cool prize, and I hope you enjoy it. So we'll give away some more later, but right now some case studies. $15,379 from a boat lifting company. And we just sold them search engine optimization and hosting. And they've been paying us month after month about $1,200 for the last 13, 14 months. So that's one sale. $25,900 from a roofing company. And we sold them search engine optimization. We sold them website design and hosting. And look, these two example sales are not like outliers or anomalies. These are, these are quite standard sales that we make all the time. And it's not like, just to be completely transparent with you, it's not like we're going to get necessarily $25,000 in one lump sum. These guys might pay us over a period of 4 months, for example. But you get the money and you pocket about 70, 80%. From this one here, I think I worked out that we pocket over $20,000 in profit. Now, remember, this is really key. You don't do the work. Other people are going to do that for you. And this can work for anyone, regardless of where you are in the world, what your background is, if you've succeeded or failed in the past. In fact, this is the most simple business model that we're involved with. So quick recap. Is there demand? Yes, and it's huge, through the roof. Is there competition? There might be a little bit, but it's a complete non-issue because we're not actually positioning ourselves to fight it out in the local market. That's just not how we do it. And certainly compared to any other kind of online business, you'd say that there's no competition whatsoever. You don't need any expertise. We'll be doing it for you, and we'll have the details about that shortly. And there's zero cost, so zero ads, zero inventory, nothing really when you're getting started. And you might be thinking, look, this just sounds too good to be true. And the reality is that you will have to do some work, but it's focused on one specific thing, and we'll explain more about that shortly. And it is a beautiful business model. It works amazingly well, and it ticks all the boxes, and I think it outperforms any other business model. So you can see how Chad, one of our students, and he's in our private mastermind group. That's why we've been able to work with him, but he did over $187,000 in 2018 with a 64% profit margin, and he's got people paying him month after month after month. This is a real rags to riches story. I mean, Claudio, he genuinely hit rock bottom 2008, 2009. He lost everything, and he had a newborn baby at the time. He had to build from scratch. We've known this guy for a long time, and he's just an inspiration. I mean, he's on track to do over $400,000 this year, and he built from scratch. He's not from the United States. If you heard him speak, you'd hear that he's got an incredibly strong accent, and sometimes I struggle to understand him. But he's thriving. He's built his business. He lives in the United States these days. He's built his business, and it's just amazing. And, he's a great example of it doesn't take talent or special skills. It's about using a process. So Claudio's another one. Here's RP in Ireland, $118,000 in 12 months. And he had about an 80% margin there. Chris up in Canada, $40,000 in January. Great start to 2019. And these guys are also from our private mastermind. And because of that, we've been able to help them with this in the past. So the point is, local businesses are screaming out for this stuff. They all need traffic. They all need an online presence. And this is why there's virtually no selling involved. In fact, the customer comes to you, especially when we roll out the types of funnels that we roll out. We've got 6 different funnels that we use to acquire these customers, but the customer comes to you. And because business owners are desperate for help, the conversion rates are sky high. So we're not talking about like a 3% conversion rate or something like that. We're talking about, converting 1 in 7 customers. And the other thing is we're not talking about making $10 profit per sale. We're talking about making like $1,000 profit per sale. So if you remember the math of money, the formula that I gave you earlier, there were 4 key things in it. And this is a great example. Conversion rates in this are through the roof. The amount that you make per sale is through the roof. It's recurring. It's not a one-time $10 that Amazon or a commission that you're going to make. It's recurring. And the leads, you're not fighting for leads. I mean, there's very little competition here. I'm hearing a bunch of different like income screenshots that people like to see. You can see this one here is for a lifestyle homes company. This is nature recreation park. And these are the types of businesses that we work with. They're not sexy. They're just regular businesses who need this help. Now, Steve, maybe it's a good time for you to share your slides there and take over and talk about this.
Yep. Let's see if I can figure this out. Woo! I think I got it. Maybe. Yeah, I think I did.
Looking good.
Yeah. All right. I'm not used to being able to see myself. This is pretty wild. So, Aiden's been doing a great job of talking about how fantastic this business model is. And, for 10 years, well, those of you who know us, that for 10 years, I mean, this is our thing. We develop training around, what we think are the best business models out there, because it's our thing to try and have the biggest impact on the most amount of people, change people's lives, and get them to develop their own businesses. And so we've been doing that for 10 years. And when we sat around and we started talking about kind of going back to our roots in the beginning, because we thought that for all the reasons that Aiden's been talking about, this is like the perfect business model. And, there's just this incredible correlation between successful online entrepreneurs and the fact that this was the first business model they did and they still do it, which describes all of us, and all the people in our network. And so, we said, yeah, this is great. Let's do it. But we felt like, we've got to do more. There's got to be a way that we can structure, particularly this business model, some situation that we can set up where we can, just do more to ensure success for the people that build these businesses. And, Aiden's been alluding to it, with his talk about partnerships and stuff like that. But I'm going to talk in more detail about that. And I can tell you that this is something that no one has ever done before. The opportunity that you have in front of you, I feel like I've got a really big responsibility, because I need to take a medium complex situation and opportunity and make sure that I describe it accurately enough so that you can understand, the enormity of what you have in front of you, the path that you could choose. And one of the ways we might be able to put that into context is just think about getting into the ground floor of something big. Think about this picture here in the middle. I'm sure you know who that is, Steve Jobs. And you probably don't know the guy next to him. So this is like the number 3 guy at Apple. There was Steve Jobs, there was Woz, and then there was this guy, early investor in Apple. So you can imagine what an incredible opportunity this guy had in front of him. His whatever $10,000 investment is probably worth, like $1 billion or something right now. I don't know. It's insane, something like that. Was he aware of what a great opportunity it was? I mean, I doubt he thought it would be that. But he must have known that he was getting on the ground floor of something amazing. Imagine if you had that opportunity to get in the ground floor of Apple or Netflix or McDonald's or, whatever. That is a great context for you to think about the opportunity that we're talking about here today. It is, I am not overstating, it is that big. And that's the case that I need to make with you guys. So one of the things we're doing differently, and this is not the big twist, quote unquote, and I love that you can see me do air quotes, which is awesome. But is that you're not going to do any of the work for you. So our team of experts is going to do all of the work for you. But be careful. Don't just assume, oh, great, that's outsourcing, not quite a twist. The way that we're going to do it is incredibly innovative and allows us to do some other major things that have a big impact on your success rate. Essentially, what we're going to do is set everything up for you. Okay, everything's prepackaged, all ready to go. The websites, the magnets, the sales magnets that Aiden was talking about, all the funnels. You don't even need to buy a domain name. We're talking about absolutely everything, so you can focus on making more sales. Get to where you want to be. Get to 7 sales, get to 100K, and then scale from there and beyond. And the reason why that's really, really important is there's a whole bunch of reasons, as I'm sure you can imagine. One of them is that you don't want your personal ability to really be relevant to the success. You don't want to rely on your technical skills. A great example of that. I started in corporate as a computer programmer, and I rose through the ranks and became a chief information officer and a VP in IT. But if somebody asked me to be a programmer today, I would be useless, because I haven't kept up my technical skills. So you don't want to rely on your technical skills. You want to rely on your more entrepreneurial skills for success or failure. Okay, so you want to take that technical ability, make it irrelevant, and you also don't want to be an entrepreneur that simply just creates a new job for yourself, where you're trading hours for dollars. That's not a way to scale. That's not a way to get geographic and time freedom. It doesn't work. Okay, so you've got to have the ability for someone else to do the work. Okay, so you combine those things that I just talked about with all the stuff that Aiden was talking about. And, I think you guys can see that this is, just how incredibly perfect this business model is. It ticks every single box. Margins are high. It's a small group of customers that you have to worry about, rapid ongoing results. Competition is low. You can sell the business later. It's respectable. You can talk about it. You've got other people that are doing it for you. You're not trading hours for dollars. You've got incredible demands. You've seen all the stuff here. It's, why we're so excited about this business model, but it's really the tip of the iceberg, because when we sat down a year ago and we said, okay, we know we want to go sort of back to basics. We know that this is the right business model. This is the perfect business model. This is the time to try and get people to build businesses like this. We had two choices. We could do what we always did. We always have done, which is we could create a kick-ass training program. And we're really good at it. And we produce the best, I think, in the industry. And we have for a decade. And we're super proud of the results that gives us. So we could do that. And that would be the safe route for us to go. We know everything that's involved in that. Or we had another option in front of us, okay? That option required a ton more risk, a ton more time, energy, focus, and money on our part up front, before we knew if other people would get it, but the upside of that second path, that harder path, that road less traveled, is that it can allow us to have a much, much higher success rate, we feel, with the people that, would join us in us trying to help them build those businesses. So I'm super proud of the fact that we decided to do it. We said, you know what, we're going to take the risk. We're going to invest the money. And with Parallel Profits, we've spent a year of our time and our treasure to do two things, really. One is do the same thing we've always done, which is put together that kick-ass, second to none, industry-leading training, support, coaching, tools, resources to make you an expert in this business model and give you all the knowledge that you need in order to implement it. But we did something more, okay? We created an environment and a situation where you can have a true partnership with us, where we succeed or fail together, okay? Something that people have been asking us forever. Now, partner with us can be really kind of an ambiguous term, but we mean something very specific, okay? What we've been able to do is set up a real, honest to goodness, no kidding, formal, legal franchise situation. You, right now, have the opportunity to be a franchise owner, okay? And the reason why that's so powerful and such an amazing opportunity, and something I need to make sure that you really understand, is because of this right here. The success rates for people that implement franchises versus other businesses, franchises are 90% or higher. Well, why is that? Well, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because a franchise is really, look, let's take a business that's doing really well, an existing, specific, actual, real life business. It's not an idea. It's not a business model. It's an actual business that's running. And in many cases, like in our case, has been running for a decade or more. Okay. And wrap it all up in a bow and give it to the franchise owners as their new business. Essentially clone it, right? So you could probably start to see why, oh yeah, okay, well that kind of makes sense. That's why there's such a high degree of success. If you're taking something that's already running and running well, and you sort of just make a copy of it, move it over here, it's my new business. Okay, I can see why most of those do well. Real world example, McDonald's. And because this model may seem too good to be true, but it's not. McDonald's is a $22 billion company, and they grew their company, their whole global brand through this franchise model. So if you've got $1 million, actually you need a little bit more than that because you need liquid cash reserves on top of the $1 million. But if you have $1 million buy-in, you could buy into a McDonald's franchise. You sign up, you negotiate a territory. It's like, yep, okay, I got my McDonald's franchise. Here's $1 million. And then they immediately train you like we train, like an info product. They send you to Hamburger University, which is a real thing. You can look it up. It's right around the corner here in Chicago. And they do what we do in our information products. They give you all of the training and the coaching and the resources and the tools and everything to become an absolute stone cold expert in the business model of running McDonald's so that you can implement your own McDonald's. But then they do one more because they're a franchise. It's not just an information product. It's not just training. They also then partner with you and they give you everything you need to run the McDonald's. They give you all the hamburgers, the McNuggets, the trash bags, the software, the signage, the coffee cups, the coffee stirrers, the little hats, the Ronald McDonald, everything. And so they essentially take their successful business and they clone it for your franchise. Okay. And you buy the franchise owner. The franchise owner is their own business. Okay. The franchise company is not called McDonald's. It's probably usually like Steve's Food Services Inc. or LLC or whatever, or sole proprietor, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And they are a contractual franchise of McDonald's. Okay, so they're doing business as McDonald's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, and they buy the hamburgers for 50 cents from McDonald's and they sell them for whatever they want. Now, actually, in the real world, I'm guessing that McDonald's has pricing controls, but in our example, in our franchise example, the franchise owner has control over the pricing. Okay. So what you need to understand is sort of the life of a franchise, how it works most of the time, just so that you understand how this happens. Most of the time it begins with a completely different name than the global franchise brand. Okay. And they spend time perfecting it, building a great business, putting in all the processes and efficiencies and all that kind of stuff. And then they come up with a global brand and they market it as a franchise to potential franchise owners. And that's how they build their business. So McDonald's was what started out as McDonald's Brothers Hamburger Stand in 1940. And they spent 13 years making it the best damn hamburger stand they could. And then they decided to turn it into, I'm oversimplifying, but they decided to turn it into a franchise company. That's how they decided to grow for many reasons. And they said, okay, well, we're going to create the golden arches and we're going to just call it McDonald's. And that's our global brand. And they put into effect their first franchise in 1953. And 5 years later, they're selling their millionth burger. Okay. Similar pathway for what we're talking about right here. I started a digital marketing agency business. I don't even know if we called it that then, but something like that. Way back in 2003. And it was the first dollar I ever made online. Okay. But the first dollar I made online, the first check I got, the first revenue I ever got was from a hair salon in Raleigh, North Carolina. I wish I could remember the name. I'd like to see if the website was still up, but, and it remains something I do to this day, which is so crazy in the internet world, in the online business world, but again, not only me, but all of the online entrepreneurs that I know started the same way, and continue to do it to this day. I started with this and then in parallel affiliate marketing. So it started in 2003. And then what often happens with companies and business models with Aiden and myself, because we're serial entrepreneurs, what we do is we find a business model that we like, we find a business model that works, we get some success with it, we build it out, we start to scale it, okay? And then we say, okay, now it really requires more operations and, more execution and stuff like that. So let's turn it into a separate company. We did that in 2008. And we'll get a whole corporate staff. We'll get a CEO and whatever staffing is required. We'll take an advisory, strategic role, kind of board of directors type role. And let's let more operational people turn this into the perfect business, optimizing systems and efficiencies and all that kind of good stuff. And we've done that for 10 years. And now we are able to say, this is the right business model to teach people. But not only are we going to teach them, we're going to take this business that we've taken on this journey, and we're going to franchise it. Okay. So just some more detail on how this works, because I know this is a concept that is it's kind of a double whammy, because it's not necessarily a really easy concept for people to get, but then also this is not the normal way that a franchise is usually marketed. And I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But so what we're doing here is we're saying, okay, look, we're going to start, because we know the information product business, because we've been doing it for so long. That's where we start. Okay, so we're going to ask you to invest in Parallel Profits, which is our information product that basically is Hamburger University. Okay, we're going to fast track you to expert status. We're going to teach you absolutely everything there is to know about this business model, soup to nuts, coaching, training, support, tools, templates, the whole works. Everything you need to know to implement the business model. But then, well, actually not then, because in parallel, because we're going to work on both these at the same time, you are going to become a legal franchise owner. And you get handed literally everything that you need to build your own business, to have a clone of this. Everything's set up for you. It's prepackaged. It's ready to go on a silver platter. You're going to select your territory just like you do with McDonald's, and Aiden will talk about that in a minute. You'll get yourself set up and you'll be good to go. Okay. Aiden talked about the automated sales funnels and all. We're going to take care of the delivery of the services. We talked about that. We've got an awesome team ready. It's completely hands off, and you don't need to know how to do it. You need zero expertise for this. So one of the questions you're probably asking is, okay, well, I don't like, what am I selling here? What are my burgers? So we're starting with the 80-20 rule. We're starting with 20% of the services that generate 80% of the revenue and profit. Okay. We've got a much bigger portfolio of services that we can offer. I'll mention a couple in a minute. But these are the bread and butter that start things off. Now, they usually fall into one of two categories. Either they're one-time payment kind of services. In other words, the business who your customer is pays you once, or these are services that are recurring. The business that is your customer paying you every single month. So the one-time payments usually revolve around websites, just designs from scratch, redesigns, rehabs, images, logos, that kind of thing. But they quickly actually usually turn into or transition to, and you can see why, recurring, because they're all sort of around the website. Hosting is a big one. Not a huge expense, but you get a lot of people paying you for really high quality hosting, and it starts to add up, and you really don't have to do much. Security monitoring, performance monitoring, uptime monitoring. These are all things you can add on. Retainer for monthly website updates. So when you're a small business owner and you have a website, you need a guy. You need a web guy. You want to add a picture, you want to add a page. People, they don't want to mess. I don't even care even if it's WordPress, they don't want to mess with that. They don't want to publish pages and go into edit HTML and crap like that. They don't want to do that. So they need a guy. I need to make some changes to my website. Let me call my guy. So you're the guy, right? So they pay you a retainer to be the guy. Then you've got sort of routine maintenance surrounding plugins and SSL and that kind of thing. And then some more advanced strategies or services like, hey, why don't I show up when people type in pizza places near me? I'm a pizza place. I should show up. Well, yeah, let me explain why. And here's what we can do about that. Visibility campaigns, which are in essence, search engine optimization. We've got a ton more. We've got all this, we've got call logging. We've got CRM with texting and email, reputation management, getting reviews on social media sites, tons. But this is where we'll focus first. Walk before we run. You're probably asking, okay, well, I don't understand. What do I do? And I would ask you, what do you think McDonald's owners do? There's a continuum of owners of franchises like McDonald's, and none of them do the same thing. So some of them do nothing, and they never set foot in their store. Some of them do everything, including, washing the floors and making the French fries. Hopefully not at the same time, right? Some of them are in between that. Some of them have, managers that run the day-to-day. Some of them have regional managers because they have more than a few stores. Some of them get involved heavily in community outreach, philanthropy, and, maybe dealing with the, Ronald McDonald House. And, that's really big right around the corner from me here in Chicago. And it generates goodwill in the community and traffic. And it's a type of marketing. It's feel good. It's good marketing, right? So in general, because these are your businesses, the general role of responsibilities of the franchise is customer sales and marketing, customer service, customer retention, with tons of support from corporate, because we're all in this together. Your customer is our customer. The more customers you get, the more we get, the more money you make, the more we make. It's a beautiful thing. So we are incented to help in an enormous way. Okay. But the point is, you can set it up to be any way you want. And if you want to add 2 partners, you can do that. If you want to hire a manager, or an office manager, and never show up, you could do that. You can do whatever you want. Aiden talked quite a bit about this. Again, we're going to focus on, we've been doing this a long time, 15 years. So we've got 5 really proven funnels to generate business. 4 of those are I don't know if remote's the right word, but no personal. In other words, you're not going to be out there knocking on doors, making cold calls, trying to bother people. That's not what we're all about. You don't need to do that. The conversion rate is so high. The demand is so high. You don't need to do that. There's lots of different ways. Aiden talked about one way with the digital outreach. It's a fantastic way. It helps people, even if they don't ever talk to you. It's a really, really effective way. You'll find that selling, I could do it again. I could do air quotes again. Selling these services is very, very different than selling anything else. And the reason is that it often is more of an educational interaction. So by that, I mean, it's not like a used car salesman trying to get you to sell this thing that's been on the lot and trying to come up with, weird sales tactics to keep you there and go speak to their manager and, that kind of garbage. It's more about, like, for example, when you talk to, when you have a client who you did their website or something and they say, hey, I don't show up when somebody types in, pizza place near me. And you start talking about, well, let's talk about why that is. Well, Google makes their decisions. It's a popularity contest. Google used to be called Back Rub. I like to, when it was first invented. And because everything was driven by backlinks. And what are backlinks? Backlinks are popularity votes. And so why does somebody come up in Google and you're not? Because they have a lot of votes and you don't have any votes. Oh, okay. Well, can I get votes? Yes. I'm glad you asked. That's exactly what we do. That's search engine optimization. We're going to get you some popularity votes. We're going to run a campaign just like a political person would to try and get votes. It's exactly what we do. Okay. So it's that kind of a sale. And not a high pressure, sort of sale tactic. And it's funny, direct mail making a huge comeback for good reason, because, everybody went away from direct mail. Nobody opened direct mail for a decade probably. And now lots of people don't open emails. There's email fatigue. And, oh, by the way, everybody stopped sending actual mail. So nobody gets any mail anymore. So now all of a sudden you're probably seeing this too, like an uptick in direct mail because it's working. We just did a big direct mail campaign for another company that we have, completely different world. But yeah, we talked about this. How do I deliver the services? That our team's going to do it for you. We've got a franchise owner portal. Everything's ordered quickly and easily. It's all online. We've got teams all around the world. We've got dedicated corporate staff for QA and operations. It's critical to deliver, McDonald's. If McDonald's hamburgers sucked, or if their French fries were bad, it's bad for everybody, right? So they make sure that they're good. This is really important because I sort of alluded to this before. If the typical life cycle of a franchise is very different than what we're doing. Okay. Usually, let's take McDonald's. When McDonald's said, yes, we're going to grow by doing franchise, they set everything up. And then they had to market like in Entrepreneur Magazine, if that was even around back then, or, Franchise R Us magazine or classified ads. They had to try and attract franchise owners, and they had to put a price tag to their franchise. Now, $1 million is what it costs now for McDonald's, but I guarantee it didn't cost $1 million back then. It's certainly not, and not just because it was 1950, but because at some point there was the first McDonald's, and there's no way you could command a premium like that. And that's where we are right now. You have an opportunity to buy into, to get into the first McDonald's. So if we were going to do it that way, if we were going to go out and sell a franchise directly, we would probably price it somewhere around $7,500. And that would probably be the price for the first 5 or 10 maybe. And then I personally think it would get up to 40 or 50 or maybe even more. $75,000, something like that. But we're not doing it that way because we have an opportunity, because we have access to people that are interested in business opportunity. And we've been selling information products on how to do that for a decade. So we decided to go a very, very odd, non-traditional route. That is why you've never seen this before. We said, okay, yeah, we're gonna do what we always do. We're gonna sell a kick-ass training program to teach people the Hamburger University part of this. And we are going to allow them to become a franchise owner at zero additional investment. Okay. But believe me, I can honestly tell you, this is the last time we will never do that again, because we will have achieved our goal of starting, the McDonald's. Okay. We're going to get the first bunch of McDonald's going. All right. So it's a win-win here. And this is your business. Okay. It's really important for you to understand that. You own it. You can have partners. You can do anything you want with that business. And at the end of the day, the franchise model is the reason why the success rates are so high, because you just get rid of the guesswork and you cut down on all the heavy lifting. It's all done for you. Oh, Aiden, I think you're muted if you were talking.
There we go. I'm back. I was muted. So guys, hopefully this is making sense to everyone, and you can see the power here. And by partnering with us, we can really eliminate so much of that guesswork and drastically just help you cut down on the heavy lifting. And this is something that you can use to eliminate money problems, because we're talking about making not just $10, $20 a sale, but large chunks, like thousands of dollars per sale. And when you make that kind of money, and when you have a system in place whereby you're not the guy that has to do all the monkey work to actually deliver, then it can free up a lot of time as well. This is something that can give you a secure retirement. You can even do it if you're retired. No problem with that. And you can be your own boss, work at home. Gives you freedom. And also it can give you a legacy. I've got 2 young kids, and one thing I think about all the time is what's something that, I can set up that if they wanted to one day, they could walk into, and this can absolutely do that. It gives you financial freedom, time freedom, and geographic freedom to really live life on your terms. And what I'm going to do right now is go through the parallel profit system, and I'm going to talk you through each of the different components. Remember, we do have the question box available to you that you can use if you want to, if you've got a question that you need answered. So use that if you've got unanswered questions, okay? But in the meantime, and we will do live Q&A, or we will do Q&A at the end. But first I'm going to work through the components. So the first is the master blueprint. This is our 15 years of experience in this business model, distilled down, delivering you all of the secrets and showing you exactly how you get from A to Z with the covert sales training. Also things like getting hyper organized with your time, with your finances, and everything that we do is put inside a members area that you're going to get access to, where you'll be able to see live weekly training with Steve and I, videos, PDF manuals, things that you can download, print off if you want to, flow charts, spreadsheets, everything that you could possibly need to build this and run this business. And then there's a Lead Accelerator. And this is a key part in acquiring leads. Not only acquiring leads, but we will also be giving you batches of targeted leads. And after all, I mean, it's in our best interest to do that, because when you succeed, we also succeed. So you'll get all of the training on how to get these leads from the traffic right through to getting an email address, right through to actually making the sale. We'll give you absolutely everything that we know about how to do that. Proven templates, proven funnels, everything that you could possibly need to know. And the engagement engine, and this, I love this thing, because this is the thing, this along with the delivery hub, and I guess the Lead Accelerator as well, but really the engagement engine and the delivery hub, they're the two components that allow you to be, on a beach, sunbathing in Thailand, or, walking through the Amazon jungle in Brazil or something, while your business is still running on autopilot, because these are the two things that really allow you to streamline everything. And the engagement engine, it automates the follow-up sequences, which will convert your sales. Now, it's not the only sales mechanism. I want to stress that. If you're someone that likes face-to-face interaction, if you're someone that likes picking up the phone and calling someone, you can definitely do that. But that's not something that I love doing. I would much rather have just an automated sequence working for me, and that's what the engagement engine will do for you. And we'll talk more about the delivery hub in just a second, but the instant asset machine is how you get all of your professionally designed, highly credible marketing tools. And by tools, I mean your website, brochures, business cards, fully functional landing pages, all of these things. And we're going to do all of this for you. And then the delivery hub. Now, the delivery hub, we originally built this for ourselves to help streamline the delivery of whatever services we were providing for our clients. And it's something that you're going to be able to plug into. It's really, really cool. You sell a service, you get paid for it, and then you submit the work to the delivery hub. It's all completely streamlined. So the customer pays you here, comes through here. You just pass it on to our team in the background. They're going to do the work, pass it back to you, and then you pass it back on to the end user. So we do it all for you. You get automatic progress updates. And not only is it for the delivery of the work, but it's also the entire billing system. So you may be wondering, well, how do I get paid? Or how do your customers pay you? They pay you through the billing system. You don't have to worry about Stripe, PayPal, and it all integrates perfectly with your bank account. And there's other ways that you can get money out as well. But that's all sort of instantly integrated, and you get that money first before you do anything else. And then there's the private community. And we've got specialist support as well. And the specialist support is different to what we've done in the past, because in addition to getting email support, which you can get 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you can also, in the future, you will be able to have phone conversations with us, because when you're at $10,000 per month, it's in our interests that you grow to $20,000 per month and beyond. And one of the ways that we're going to get you there is by picking up the phone and actually talking to you and guiding you through and having these consultation calls with you. And obviously at no extra cost, because these things are built into you building the business, and us as your partner are helping you do that. So here's a full recap of everything that you're getting here. Each one of these components has been designed to help you hit the ground running and make just as much money as you can in the shortest time possible, and just stack the odds of success massively in your favor. And you can get to a $100,000 profit run rate with just 7 customers. And there's no other business that I know that can do that. And you can use that as a launch pad to scale to $300,000, $1 million and beyond. And $1 million business profit, because that's all that really matters. I mean, profit is within your grasp, 65 sales. So you'll be selling a high quality product or service. Hopefully you can see that. You can see that there's huge demand. Every local business needs this. There's a clear path to customers. The business has true longevity. We've been doing it for 15 years. Now, the types of things that we do change a little bit from time to time. 15 years ago, Facebook didn't even exist, not in the way that it's used today anyway. So things do change, but the bottom line is local businesses always going to need the service, and you get recurring income month after month after month. So about, I think it was 8 years ago, we had a limousine company sign up for our services, and they're still paying us every single month today. So that's an example of what can happen here. So some important information: some people cannot be franchisees. Initially, we can only offer this to people, the franchise component, to people in the USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Now don't panic if you're not in one of those 5 countries, because you can still do this and you're not going to be at a disadvantage, and I'll explain why in just a second. But firstly, the reason why we have to limit the franchise opportunity to people in those 5 countries is just because of the enormous legal hoops that we have to jump through. There's so much time, energy, and just cost in getting to a point where you can legally offer a franchise in different countries. Now, we've done it for these 5 countries, and we will do it for more in the future. But if you're not in one of these countries right now, you'll still be able to join with us, okay? And it's not that you're never going to be able to partner with us. I'm sure you will be able to at some point in the future if there's enough people, in your area that do this. But the only difference is that you'll use your own brand name and your own domain name. You'll still get access to all of the services, all of the tools, everything else that we use there. And we'll still give you support every step of the way. You'll get the templates, everything. In fact, we'll have specific training just for you because you're not in one of those 5 countries. So we're going to be, holding you by the hand and making sure that you've got everything that you could possibly need to do this. So you might be asking, well, what's my territory? Your territory is going to be centered around your zip code or postcode where you live. And it's easier to get started this way. We know this from experience. It's the fastest way to get to $100,000 per year. And the territory is not your zip code or postcode. That's like an indicator of what your territory will be based around. But your territory depends, your actual territory depends on your business density. So if you live in a very rural area, then your territory might be made up of multiple zip codes. If you live in a incredibly highly populated, high business density area, you might only have a fraction of a zip code. But you can leave that up to us because we are going to be assigning you with your territory to ensure that you've got plenty of room for growth and that you're never at a disadvantage. So if you're thinking, where I can't do this, where I live, I can't do this because I'm in a small town or rural area. That's just not the case. You're not going to be at a disadvantage. Your territory is not your zip code. It can be the surrounding area as well. Sometimes multiple zip codes. Territories are based on business density, not population. So like I say, nearby towns, they may fall into your territory. And if you live in a big city, you might be thinking, well, competition is going to be tough. It's just not the case. I mean, we've never had any issues related to competition, and we've done this in some pretty highly densely populated areas like Manhattan, London, Chicago, Miami, and other heavily built-up areas as well. So competition is not going to be an issue. So to give you some perspective, Steve started this 15 years ago. That's 15 years of experience that we've got, over 32,000 hours in running this business. We've invested millions in building the business to where it is today, millions on marketing campaigns and resources, over $100,000 in legal fees, to get this to a point where we can offer it to you in the way that it is today, and hundreds of thousands in building up a full-time team. And some more perspective, another alternative is to go out there and buy a McDonald's franchise, and that would require $1 million plus investment, and it would throw off just $66,000 a year. Or a Subway franchise, and that would require $110,000 investment and throw off about $50,000 a year. So hopefully you can see that what we're doing here gives you far, far greater upside. And it's the most heavily vetted and regulated business that we have ever shared with anyone. A franchise is not like a training program. I can't just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to start this franchise business. No, this doesn't work like that. There's so much that has gone on behind the scenes, hundreds of hours, probably thousands of planning and everything else that goes into this. And it's just been scrutinized, it's put under the microscope. So like I say, that's good news for you. It's extremely limited. It's not only limited because of the territories, it's also limited because we shut down tomorrow. Tomorrow, the doors are going to slam shut on this, and they're not going to be open anymore after that. So that's it really. It's really a case now of now or never. You're probably not going to see any more presentations about this if you're on this one right now. So you need to make up your mind and think quite hard about this. And, the doors are going to shut. Tomorrow, the doors are going to slam shut. So we've started the training. The next training is on Friday, so 2 days from now. And that's it. Like the doors, like I say, they're closing tomorrow. That's it. The required investment, $110,000. You could pay $110,000 for a Subway franchise and you'd make $50,000 a year, but you just have a job making sandwiches basically for not all that much money. Or, we can do even better, $12,000. For the past 5 years, we've offered this opportunity and this access to people who are part of our mastermind group, our $12,000 a year mastermind group. And we've partnered with people there and we've helped them build 6- and 7-figure businesses. So, you can make the case that this is worth $12,000. And if all this does is get you, let's say, just 4 customers, which are going to be paying you month after month after month, like the limousine company example that I gave you, would that be worth investing $12,000? And hopefully you can see that it would. It would pay itself off in no time. But we can do even better. You can get in today for $2,497, and we stand to benefit, by having you jump in with us. So what I'm going to do right now, and I'm just going to, Steve, if you could just, I actually just need to stop sharing my screen here for 1 second. Are you able to take the screen here for just one second, Steve? And just pull it up on the screen. I just need to check something on.
Yeah, just give me 1 second and I will.
Now, just while Steve does that, I'll let you know that the price is $2,497. And like I say, we are also making this available for 3 payments of $997. Okay, so just while Steve does that, I'm just going to check here.
Is this the slide you want up, Aiden?
Actually, I'm going to share my screen, Steve. Just let me do it. Yeah. And I'm sorry about this, guys, but I just had to make sure.
Modern technology.
Modern technology. So you should be able to see my screen again. Just confirm that for me, Steve. But this is the way that you can get started. So you can see the link there, parallelprofits.com/start. That's the link that you need to go to. And you can join today. And we've got a 60-day, no money back guarantee, no questions asked. And you can get in right now. So when you go to that page to sign up, you'll see that there are 2 options. But the thing that you'll see even above that is you'll see that it says that you can partner with us. So if you do not live in one of those 5 countries, if you don't live in the USA, the UK, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand, then select no on that checkbox that you can see just there. If you do live in one of those countries, then what you'll do is you'll select that country. You'll select yes if you want to become a franchise partner with us. Select your country, enter your zip code, okay, your zip code, your postal code, and select reserve my territory. Okay, now when you do that, if your zip code is still available, it will give you a green check mark and you'll be able to proceed. If you've put an incorrect zip code in, it'll tell you. And if your zip code has already been snapped up, then it'll also tell you that. Okay. So as I say, you've got a 100% money back guarantee here. And we just want you to make a fully informed decision. And look, you don't have time. Time is not on your side anymore. So even if you've got, tons of questions that you need answers to, the best thing that you can do is just jump in. Because if you wait, we are shutting down tomorrow. The first training is on Friday. So the beauty that you have, though, is you've really got nothing to lose here, because you can jump in today and you can make your final decision weeks from now if you want to. You could jump in today. You've got 60 days to test this out. If you change your mind in 59 days or 59 minutes from now, it's fine. Just send us an email. We'll give you your money back. Now, I know that people who jump into this are going to be able to do very, very well with it, and I'm excited to be working with you. But you do have to jump in, because it is a case of now or never. The registration period ends tomorrow, and it will say sold out at that point in time. So you really just have no time to waste here. You just have to jump in. A year ago was when we last launched our last training program, and people have been waiting for 12 long months to get in. When we shut down, we didn't reopen. We told people we're not going to reopen it, and we didn't reopen, and we've never reopened, and we're not going to reopen. So this is something new, and it's the same thing. And you've got the chance to get in on the ground floor right now. And you've got 2 choices really. One is just to do nothing, and if you're completely happy, 100% satisfied with your life, and don't want any growth, financial or time freedom, if you don't want any growth in any of those areas, then fine. But most people that I know, in fact, 99% of people, I think, always want a little bit more financial freedom, a bit more time, a bit more like a better lifestyle, right? And this is something that can do that. But you need to take the leap of faith. And the way that you do it and the way that you get in to get started is by going to that link that you can see on the screen there. So we will do another giveaway in just a second, a few moments here. And in fact, the next giveaway, we might do multiple Apple Watches all at the same time. So anyway, if the guys behind the scenes can start preparing some winners, that would be good. So exclusive bonuses. These are things that you're going to get as part of this as well. You're getting the secret mastermind with advanced workshops, additional tactics, formulas, and strategies. And what we're going to be doing here is diving into one of our businesses or a couple of them and looking at putting a certain part of the business under the microscope. So this may mean that we end up revealing some quite sensitive information, in which case we'll get you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. But the objective here is to share information with you that's going to help you boost your sales and your profits. The second bonus is Parallel Profits Live. This is a live streamed private 2-day event where we're going to be revealing more secrets about this business model, but other business models that we're involved with as well. And the goal here is to help you take your business to the next level. We'll have guest speakers, student case studies, special training, Q&A, and much, much more. And then the third bonus is something that Steve and I are both really passionate about, is 7-figure scaling secrets. So it's one thing to get to $100,000 a year. It's another beast to go to $300,000, $1 million, and beyond. And it's quite challenging to manage that kind of expansion while you're running your business. And we're going to show you exactly how you can do it. So here's an overview of everything you're getting, all of the bits and pieces, all of the parts to the puzzle that you're possibly going to need. Each part of this is designed to help you hit the ground running and just make money and succeed with this business. It's in our best interest that you do that. So don't delay. Tomorrow will be too late. We're going to shut this down tomorrow. Absolutely. So you can get in right now. So Steve, do you have some questions that you want to take there? I know that you've been highlighting a whole bunch behind the scenes. Maybe now's a good time to go through them.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to give away some Apple Watches first?
Yeah, why don't we do that? Yep, good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm prepared to do that.
Okay, so let's do it.
All right. How many would you like to give away?
Let's give 2 away.
All
and
right.
We'll save the last one until the end.
I can do that. Okay, so our 2 winners are Tim, and Tim's email address is timd.netbiz, and I won't give away the rest of it, the domain. But that's Tim. He is one of our winners. And then the next, we actually have a first and last name, so I won't give your email address. Brian Fair, Fair. Okay. And we'll be reaching out to you guys and arranging for the delivery of a nice, shiny Apple Watch. So that's exciting.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Congratulations, guys. We do have one more of them to give away. If you do have a question that you need an answer to right now, please use the question tool that we've got on the website, and we can help you out behind the scenes. And we have been highlighting a few that we're going to read out, go through now.
Yep.
And we will shut this down in a few minutes' time. Before we do that, though, I will give one more recap of everything before we shut down. So, but yeah, why don't we go through some questions, Steve?
Yeah, sure. So, been collecting, the guys in the background have been crazy, but we've been collecting some sort of ones that we think make sense to answer publicly. We still are having people ask, will this reopen? Because I can't start for, a few weeks or a month or whatever. I can tell you with 100% certainty, we are not going to be selling Parallel Profits again after tomorrow. That's it. It's done. If we want to expand our franchise company, we will end up doing it the more traditional way, where we will go out and sell, a very expensive franchise for, maybe $40,000, $50,000. And that's something that you can get right now for less than 1% of that. Okay. So it's definitely something, you should know. We are not reopening. So people have been asking, can you explain about the costs of setting up the business, like licenses, incorporating, that sort of thing? So you've got the investment in Parallel Profits that Aidan's talked about. And for that, you get, all of the training and everything that makes you an expert. You get Hamburger University. And you get at no additional expense the opportunity to be a franchise. No, zero. There are no more expenses, and there are no licensing or incorporating fees or anything like that. You don't have to be a corporation. Nothing. So there just really are there's no ongoing fees. There's no upsells. There's no surprises. There's no paid advertising. That was another question that people are asking. Do I need to run Facebook ads? You heard from several folks who are doing this business model. And if you asked every single one of them, people like Chad and Claudio and Adrian, and if you asked every single one of them, are you doing any paid advertising? They will say no, because they don't need to. So because of all the things that Aiden talked about with the demand of this business and the conversion rate and all that sort of thing. So we got a question about, are you guys setting this up so that it can be fully run without you guys? Franchises require corporate level longevity. And so, yeah, we totally agree. It's a great question. And we knew that from the start. We have a completely separate company, just like McDonald's created a completely separate company. Its own structure. It's got its own corporate staff, its own CEO. It is an entity unto itself, and we are not required for its existence. Okay. We certainly hope that we make it better, but yeah, it's designed to go on without us. So some pretty savvy people know a little bit about franchises. Franchise owners have particular responsibilities and obligations to the franchise. I'd like to hear more of those details, before I sign up. And you know what? You're absolutely right. If this were a traditional franchise offer, you would have something called a financial disclosure document, which is a legal requirement before you can, quote unquote, sell a franchise. But we're not actually selling a franchise right now. What we're doing is we're selling an information product with a coupon to get a franchise at no additional cost. So we still need to do that to give all of the disclosure elements, because that's required by all the regulatory bodies. And you'll actually get that on Friday. So it is called the FDD, the financial disclosure document, and you'll get that in just a couple of days. But only the people that come on board will get it, because we don't have to give it out to the public and start to show some of our secrets and all that kind of stuff, because we just don't need to. But we will. You'll need to see it and all the transparency, and that goes along with that, the franchise agreement. It's the same thing with people are asking, okay, well, what do the services cost? We're not going to publish our cost to our franchise owners in public like this, because again, we don't have to. We will do it, obviously, for you guys who join us, because you'll need to know that. But for now, what you should know is that we've got 15 years experience. We've got global experience in delivering this. We know what people pay for it. The clients, we know what we're going to charge. And we know that our goal is to create somewhere on the order of magnitude of a 70% profit margin. So that is how we price all of our, services. Let's see. I covered that one. What if I move? People are asking about. So if you move, there are going to be a whole bunch of options available to you. Just like, if you were moving and you had a McDonald's franchise. So you could keep it and run it from a new area. You could hire someone to run it for you. You could sell it. You could do any number of those things, and you could open up a new one. So the bottom line is, again, with this partnership where, we make money when you make money and all that kind of good stuff, we're all incented to do whatever's right for you, particularly if you're running a successful franchise. We don't want that to go away, so. Let's see. Let's do this one. Time required. People are asking, is this something I can do part-time? It's absolutely something that aligns really well with part-time work. In fact, I always kid like Claudio and Chad. I'm like, you guys are still just working part-time, for crying out loud, even though it's their full-time gig, and they make high six figures. So yeah, it lends itself great to part-time. And, we estimate that somebody who wants to do it like that probably will need to put in 3 to 4 hours a week. Maybe other people will be 5 to 10. Obviously, it's heavily dependent on you. But But yeah, it's definitely a great part-time gig. Can I do this with a partner? Yes. It really works well for that. It's very, very flexible because you can do it with a partner right this second, before we even begin to get all this set up with you. And you only need one membership to do it with a partner or multiple partners. But the nice thing is this is your company, as we keep saying over and over again. So a month from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, you can add one partner, 5 partners. It doesn't matter. It's your company. So you can do whatever you want. Okay. People are asking, okay, well, I don't understand. Like, why do you need us? What's in it for you? Why don't you just do this yourself? I mean, you could ask the same thing about McDonald's, right? It's a $22 million corporation, and they grow by franchise. But I'll tell you, we went through a whole decision-making process here. I gave some insight into that because, when I talked about the two options we had, but very specifically, we decided to go the franchise route, this model, for 3 big reasons. One is it's a kick-ass way to grow your company. It's a great way to scale and to bring in really smart people and people with new ideas and, just a great way to grow your company. It's number one. Number two, we know from 15 years of experience that these services are best delivered when there's some kind of local connection to the client. So, and that can mean a lot of things. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to live next to the client. It doesn't mean you even have to live in the same state. Maybe it's even that you both live in New Zealand or something. It could be that tenuous. And it also doesn't mean that you can't be geographically free, because you can run it from the beach, even though you can still maintain your, quote unquote connection, your geographic connection, or you could hire someone who has the geographic connection. It doesn't have to be you. So I think you get my gist here. There's no incredible secret to that. It's just, when there's some sort of local connection, you convert more customers and you retain more customers. It's just that simple. So that lends itself great to the franchise model. And then finally, the last reason is because of what we were showing with the success rate of franchises. If we can have a bigger impact on people, if we can dramatically increase their success rates, then that makes us happy campers. It's kind of our passion. So let's see.
Maybe, Steve, what I can do just while you're highlighting more questions there is I can go over a bit of a recap for everyone here. I think that might be useful. So we'll do that, guys. And look, we are going to be shutting this down in 5 minutes time or so. You don't have to wait any longer. If you want to jump in, you can go to that link and just jump in, and you'll be on the inside and you'll have your spot secured. Just to reiterate, I've said it a few times now, but tomorrow we are shutting this down permanently for good. So it kind of is almost a case of now or never right now for you to jump in, and we'd love to have you with us. So some people have been asking, how long will it take to start making money? So let me give you a very clear roadmap here. Right now we are at week 0, day 0. First training starts on Friday. So in that first training, week 1, we're going to be giving you a business overview. We're going to be talking about the business plan. And then we're going to be talking about business setup, franchise information, things like that. And once all that's done, we get to the fun part. The fun part is talking about the marketing execution plan, talking about the sales magnet setup. And once those things are done, which we haven't had time to really discuss here today, once those 2 things are done, you can start making money, making sales, securing customers, and making money. So that can happen somewhere 3 to 4 weeks. We have to do, maybe 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. We have to lay some foundation, obviously. But once we've got that foundation laid in the first couple of weeks, you can be off to the races, making as many sales as you want to. And it's by far the fastest way to make money with an online business that I know of. It's not like you have to wait around weeks to get, suppliers for physical products, or, build an affiliate site or anything like this that takes a lot of time. You'll be able to start making money in just a few weeks' time, and then put your foot on the accelerator. And the real beauty about this business model is that you can earn while you learn. So you don't have to know everything from the get-go. You'll make a sale, and then we'll train you. We'll show you what you need to do step by step by step as you're working through it all. this can give you immediate repeat income, just like it gave Adrian, another one of our students. And he got into this when he was going through some tough times a few years ago when his freelance business took a bit of a nosedive. And he said to us, look, what can I do? I need to make money. I need to feed my family. And we said, why don't you try this? You can use it and get some pretty immediate income. He already had a very, very basic understanding of online business. So I would say that he knew what search engine optimization meant, but he didn't necessarily know how to do it. And he did. He got immediate repeat income, and he still does it as a side gig today. We've shown you how you can make to the tune of $25,000 for one sale, and this is not an anomaly. This is not an outlier. This is the kind of sale that we make all the time. $4,050, one sale, recurring month after month after month. You heard how Chad made over $187,000 last year. How Claudio, he's had a real rags to riches story. Who made over 30. I think he ended up making $40,000 in January. He's on track to make over $400,000 this year. And this business that we're talking about here, the parallel profits model, it stacks up so well against any of the other online businesses that you may have considered in the past. And if you're working some other online business, you don't have to give that up. This is something that you can definitely run alongside what you may already have going for you. So this is, but like I say, this is something that you need to do right now. Otherwise, if you wait around much longer, it's going to be too late. Our CEO is Rory, and we first met him in 2010 at a live event that Steve was running in Las Vegas. Actually, he's got a decade of online marketing experience. He's got offline marketing agency experience, so he knows this business model inside and out. He's a successful guy in his own right. He's built and sold a multi-million-dollar online business between 2016 and 2018, and we headhunted him. We wanted, and just to put this in perspective, when I say the CEO, I'm talking about the CEO of the franchise company. So you're going to get to know this guy one way or another once you are on the inside. Great guy, based in Ireland, likes to drink Guinness. Look, he's a really, really great guy, and you're going to get to know him. And like I say, he's up in Ireland and lots of experience, and he's a key asset and key part in all of this. So just to recap the core components here, you've got the master blueprint. This is start to finish, everything that you could possibly need to know about this business, everything that we've learnt through doing it ourselves for 15 years. A to Z guide, guiding you through all of the ninja conversion and sales strategies that we know of, traffic strategies, everything. And you'll get it all delivered to you in a members area through live weekly training sessions, webinars, videos, manuals. You'll have flow charts, spreadsheets, whatever you need whatever we can give you to help you succeed with this, we're going to give you. The Lead Accelerator, this is a critical part of everything here. It's about acquiring leads. And, not only are we going to teach you how to do it yourself, but we're also going to give you some as well, batches of targeted leads, because, again, it's in our best interests to do that. Proven email funnels, and just everything that we could possibly give you about securing leads, putting them in the top of your funnel. And then the engagement engine is how you convert them. So automated engagement tools, which you can use to fire out sequences of emails to your prospects, get them converting, done for your email sequences, and all of this that I'm talking here. And by the way, that proprietary software that I showed you earlier, that's all baked into this. It's all built into it. So it's very, very streamlined, and there's lots of other bells and whistles that we haven't had a chance to discuss. The instant asset machine, this is how you're going to get highly credible marketing tools such as a website, brochures, business cards, fully functional landing pages, and we'll be able to provide all of these things for you. Then there's a delivery hub. This is how we're doing all of the heavy lifting for you, making sure that the services are delivered in a streamlined fashion. This is a well-oiled machine. You're getting access to our infrastructure here, which, quite honestly, this one thing here is worth the price of admission. And you're getting access to get all these services done at wholesale price. So you might sell a search engine optimization plan for $1,000, and you can get it done for you through the delivery hub for $200. That means you pocket $800, $200 is used to get it actually done for you, and you're good to go. It's all been hands off on your part, and it's largely automated as well, and the billing system is all built into it. So it's all like I say, it's all very, very streamlined. The private community, the specialist support, everything that you could possibly need. Guys, don't wait any longer to jump in. We are going to be shutting this down in just a couple of minutes here. You can see the link on the screen, parallelprofits.com/start. So go there and jump in. Some people have, over the past few days saying, look, it's a big investment. And we totally get that. It's not chump change at all. But you get to get access to this for $2,497 or $997. And, one thing I know is that when something is a priority for someone, they do what it takes to make it happen. And I'll give you an extreme example, and I've used this one over the past few days as well. But if you found out that your little finger was going to fall off and you could save it by having a $2,500 operation today, you would find a way to get the money. So in most cases, it's not even that the investment is too big. It's just that, are you willing to do what it takes to make it a possibility for you? So the knee-jerk reaction with this kind of a price can sometimes be, I can't afford it. But if you really think about it, think about how you can get in. Can you partner with someone? What can you do to get in? Can you take the monthly payment plan? I mean, I've shown you how, in 3-4 weeks' time, you're going to be able to start making sales. So you probably just need to be able to cover the first payment. And by the time the second one comes around, you may already have sales coming in. So just think about different ways that you can make this happen if it's something that you want to do. I don't have time. This is another one. That's just an excuse. Anyone can do this. If this is a priority for you, then I know that you can do this because it's not a time-intensive business. I mean, we have packaged it up in such a way. And in fact, we're doing the most time-consuming part of all of it, which is the delivery of the services for you. So I know for a fact that you have the ability to prioritize. And I know for a fact that you could squeeze another 15 minutes a day doing this if you wanted to. You could make this a priority and you could do it. So I don't think time is the real concern here. Like I said before, you might need to be resourceful to get in, think outside the box, maybe go with a partner. Don't fall into the win-then trap. I mean, this is disastrous for people. People wait for things in their life to be perfect. Like sometimes they say to me, Aidan, I'm going to start my business when I've got more time. But no, that's not the way to get ahead. The way to get ahead is to take action. And this is one thing that we spoke about it earlier, that all the millionaires that I know and all the successful business owners that I know, they have in common. They take massive action. And they just do things without overthinking them. Because when you start to overthink something, it's a dangerous game to play and you can miss out on opportunities. Like this one, you don't have time to think because tomorrow we're shutting down. That's it. So it's kind of now or never at this point. You can see the link on there that you can use to jump in, but don't fall into that when-then trap. When things are perfect in your life, you're going to do something. When you've got some more money, you're going to start investing and stop worrying about struggling to make ends meet. No, the time to do something is now, and time is of the essence because, like I say, tomorrow we're going to be shutting down. Now, you could figure all this out on your own. I've got no doubt about that whatsoever. This is not a complex business after all, but it would take you a couple of years to get to the point that we can get you to in a few short weeks. And that's the reality here. It's taken 15 years to get to where we are right now, 32,000 hours of real life experience doing this. And that's enormously valuable. So don't even think about trying to do it on your own. I mean, that trial and error, that's the worst way that you could go here. Now, the pricing paradox, this is an interesting one. Steve and I, we sat down when we were discussing this over a year ago and we said, look, what should we do here? And one option was to sell 10,000 copies of a $100, guide. And we could create a guide. It'll be accessible to almost everyone. And it would be a PDF, a glorified PDF. But we said, how can we make the most difference to people? What can we do in the perfect scenario to make it almost impossible that they could fail? Well, they're going to need a partnership opportunity for sure. They're going to need access to our infrastructure. They're going to need a certain style of training, all of our processes, templates, everything. And that was the way that we approached this, not from let's make a $100 PDF, but let's make the best thing that we can possibly make for someone And then let's figure out how we can make it as economically affordable as possible. And what we came up with was $2,497 or 3 payments of $997. And I think you'll see the enormous advantage that this gives us, because the value that we can give you is just like a gazillion times more than if we were to do a $50 PDF or something. It just doesn't compare. We're talking about having spent well into 6 figures in legal fees to be able to get to this, to where it is today. And that's just for one part of this. We've gone all in on this. We know that it can be a huge win for you, but you have to take the leap of faith. Or you can just do nothing. And we all know what happens when you do nothing. Nothing changes if nothing changes. I mean, it's up to you to initiate change. 2018 is in the book. January is in the books. If you want to make a dramatic change and take a radical step forward, then you have to do something radically different. Because, from one year to the next, most people's lives don't change that much. Maybe you're going to change your car, you might change your house, you might shift to a different city, your relationships might change. But in the grand scheme of things, your life really doesn't change all that much unless you do something radically different to what you've done in the past. And this is that opportunity. But you have to initiate the change. Don't sit out there on the sidelines, because if you do that, the year's just going to pass you by. I mean, other people are coming into this right now and they're setting themselves up to prosper. But the only way you can do that is if you actually jump in. And I want you to know as well that this doesn't rely on some special ability or some special skill. It's about the process. That's what matters here. And we can teach you the process. The process is easy. In fact, we can do a lot of the process for you. So give yourself a chance. It doesn't matter if you've failed in the past, Maybe you've been burnt in the past as well. But you've got 60 days to test this out. What's the worst that could happen? Spend a little bit of time with us. You got 60 days. You can get your money back if you change your mind. No hard feelings, no questions asked. But you need to jump in right now. We're going to walk you through every step of the system. But we shut down tomorrow. The first training is on Friday. So time is of the essence. If you're watching this right now, then you should jump into it because you deserve this. We've helped hundreds, actually thousands of people build online businesses over the past decade. And I personally know hundreds of people that have got successful online businesses. There's no reason why you can't do this. I mean, if you're willing to work a little bit, then you deserve to have this. And why not? But you need to take the leap of faith. And, we've spoken about some of the obstacles people have, that sometimes they're confused. Hopefully you can see how we can give you clarity. Sometimes it's about money. Sometimes it's about not having enough time, or so people think. But the real and the main obstacle that people have is opportunity. Because 7.5 billion people on planet Earth, how many of them are going to see this? Not many. But you're here right now and you're seeing it. And it's available to you right now, but you need to jump in if you want to do this. You've got, and this is just another one I'll mention here. Sometimes people say, oh, wow, yeah, I'm starting a real business. What are my friends and family going to think? Am I going to get humiliated if this doesn't work? You can keep this 100% private if you want to. And you can, if you want, just want to share it with your friends and family once you're successful, fine. Or never, it's up to you. But it's better to try something, fail and get your money back than just do nothing, So take the leap of faith, jump in. Don't let your fear for doing something new, or that little voice inside you that might want to stop you from going outside your comfort zone, don't let that define your life. It's okay to be afraid, but jump in and do it anyway, because that's when the magic happens. And we're looking forward to working with you. We get a real kick out of this, and we are incented to make sure that you succeed, because when you succeed, we're going to succeed as well. So the time is now. You can see the link on the screen. Go to it right now and jump in. That's pretty much it, I think. Thanks for attending. We are going to give away one more watch, I believe. So, Steve, do you want to call out? I am
prepared to give away a watch.
Did we give away 2 before, or just 1 last time?
We gave away 2 before. We have 1 more to give away.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It is Dory, and Dory's email. Oh, geez, I I have my glasses on and I still can't read this. EYLINC, and I won't show the domain, but that's Dory. So that's enough of your email to probably tell you who it is, but we'll reach out to you, Dory. And don't worry if I spelled that incorrectly, because it's just me not being able to see. But we'll take care of it, and we'll deliver you a nice fancy Apple Watch. Ooh.
Awesome, guys. Well, look, I hope you've got some value out of this. Steve, are there any last minute questions? I think we've got to them all. I know we've been pretty busy behind the scenes.
I think our team has gotten to them all. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Just to reiterate, this is not false guest or anything. This is the real deal. This is closing. The doors are slamming shut on Thursday. So it's really a case of jumping in right now, or you will miss out. Use that link. We would love to have you with us. Just take the leap of faith, and we look forward to seeing you on the inside. We'll chat soon. Bye for now.